Hey, we're here at Thrive and just wrapping up the week, and there has been so much inspiration and encouragement that this week we want to give you just a taste that will change every single day, inspire you, and send you on your way. So here's this clip.
Friends, yeah, I could turn the boat a little bit to the left, to the right, had some control, but fundamentally, every single person in this room has a track. And that track has been formed in your early childhood. You are imprinted with a question. You have been imprinted with an apex emotional need that must be met. And when it isn't met, it drives all kinds of emotions and it drives all kinds of behaviors. So let me talk about 4 of the 7. All 7 are in the book. I'm gonna have the book in the back, but let me talk about 4. First question. Write these down, by the way. This is a new way of seeing you and a new way of seeing each other. First question, am I safe? And this is the core need for physical and emotional safety. Am I safe is my primal question. And my primal question was imprinted because as a child, as a young boy, my parents would send me over to a family friend's house once a month to spend the night. And my parents trusted this individual and gave trust, they should not have trusted them. Because over the course of a year, this person, this family friend, would sexually abuse me every time I went over to the house. And I remember after about a year of this, I went and I told my parents what was going on. And I said, Mom and Dad, this is what's happening. And we never talked about it again. And so you can see, Mike Foster as a little boy has a very, very powerful question that is not being answered. And that question has driven everything in my life, both positive and negative. So let's talk about how that expresses itself in my life. Number 1, if you come over to my house, you'll be able to count 20 night lights. Why? Because I don't like the dark. The other thing it expresses in my life is I don't do anything where I might be physically harmed. Everything is run through the lens of protecting myself. Okay? I am hypervigilant on details. I pay attention to everything. And one of the most kind of emotionally activating things for me is denial. When people are saying one thing, but I know something is off and they're not telling the truth, those feel like dangerous people to me. And so this question has driven my life. The kryptonite, every question has a kryptonite. For this particular question, kryptonite is confusion and unpredictability sends them into their scramble. So when somebody is unpredictable or there's surprises or negative events that will instantly be a no to my primal question, I go into the scramble and I start doing this, trying to grab safety wherever I can, over controlling something. I need to know everything about COVID-19. I need to know all the details. Also, financial security is important to me. I need to know that I have the ability to have enough money to solve my problems. Now, some of you may look at this and go like, yeah, well, geez, Mike, safety, you're safe. And I realize that. Do you realize one of the things that I have to do on a regular basis to self-lead myself and coach myself through this question is I have to remind myself that I'm 6'4", 200 pounds. And the reason I have to do that is because I see the world as this little kid saw the world. And I forget who I am. I forget that I can protect myself now. Now, some of you are like, oh, great. Now I've got a whole nother slew of problems to solve in my life, right? A whole nother label to put on myself. If the Enneagram wasn't enough, now I've got the primal question, right? But I got some good news. Because with every primal question comes a primal gift. And the primal gift looks like this. For me, is the ability to deploy safety and peace into chaos and conflict. See, what we do is we take our primal question and we put it over everybody else that we interact with. And I assume everybody in this room is asking the question, am I safe? And you know what I do? I want to make sure that I am affirming that question with a yes. So that becomes my relational superpower. Do you realize, and I don't know what I'm doing, I didn't go to school for this, I didn't go to safety classes or anything like this, but I have been studying safety since I was a little boy, and I have a PhD on how to make people feel good and protected and safe. And you know what they do? After knowing me for 5 minutes, they tell me everything about their life. Is it some magical manipulative thing I do? No, you know what I'm doing is I'm simply answering my primal question for them with a yes. I want to know, are they safe? And what can I do to make sure that they feel protected? So with every question comes a primal gift. See, the problem is not having an emotional need for safety. The problem is me living in my scramble. The problem is me trying to grasp safety instead of realizing that I am safe. And this is God's great arithmetic, right? He takes our brokenness and turns it into something really beautiful. He turns my setbacks into superpowers. And that's what we're talking about here, friends.